Welcome back to our special tribute to quarterback Joe Montana. We're going to turn away from the speeches for a moment and take a look back at the glory days, Joe's 4 Super Bowl years.
Hey, this is the Super Bowl. Patton gives on a reverse to Solomon. He gives back to Montana. The pass is complete to Charlie Young, the tight end, and it's just a great catch by that veteran. Tough situation against these Niners. They don't mind throwing it. Wide open is Solomon. He's out of bounds at the 1. First and goal at the 1. Johnny Davis and Ricky Patton.
Now watch Montana. Steps to the right and then dives over for the touchdown.
First and 10 from just outside the 10. The throw to Cooper. And Cooper scores for San Francisco from Montana. Big Earl Cooper. San Francisco, what a remarkable story. 26-21, they are the world champions.
Joe played with masterful confidence in control and poise. I think the poise is a key word. And we were playing against a team that was really superior to ours. And we jumped out to a 20-0 lead at halftime. And the good part of it was because Joe's play was just lettered perfect.
Greatest feeling in the world. That's what it's all about. You know, for this team, for this coach, for this owner, for this town, they'll never forget this day.
Super Bowl 19, the Miami Dolphins and the San Francisco 49ers. Joe Montana joins his teammates on the field. Montana slips and slides. He does it well. He'll get the first down.
Yeah.
More. Yeah. Montana looking. Fires it ugly. Oh, is that fun?
To me, I think without question, he's the greatest quarterback in football today and the greatest quarterback that football has seen in some years, a brilliant football player, and he is #1.
From Notre Dame, two-time Super Bowl MVP, quarterback number 16, Joe Montana. Montana on the roll. Throwing deep. Complete to Craig. And Craig is to the 14-yard line. The throw is to Rice. Touchdown. Montana to Rice. He's in the clear. Montana. Touchdown. John Taylor.
Makes it that much sweeter for us all. Not only for myself, but at 65, everybody was counting us out. And it's great to come back and win it this way, I'll tell you, believe me.
You know, I take my hat off to Joe Montana and the San Francisco 49ers. There's not too many men that can do what he did, especially late in the biggest game of the season.
When you have Joe Montana being the quarterback that he is, you have to believe that you can win any game.
He's a great quarterback, and it's an indication of why he's going to be a legend when his career's over.
Back to throw Montana. Steps up, throws. Touchdown! 49ers! Taylor has it for the touchdown! A 10-yard pass! The 49ers have scored with 34 seconds remaining.
Montana looking to Rathman and hits Rice. Rice scores for San Francisco. And watch this. for Taylor, another touchdown.
No surprise from Joe because, you know, watching him practice, I stand behind the offensive huddle, and I'm like, just bing, bing, bing.
The accolades go on and on. I mean, he's probably the greatest quarterback ever to play the game.
He played the type of game that he had to play for us to win the Super Bowl, and it's a great feeling to play for one of the greatest quarterbacks that ever suited up and played a game of football, and that's Joe Montana.
In a little while, the beach won't look like this. It'll be full of people having the time of their lives. And with Weight Watchers' new Superstart program, you could get started.
That is our business.
You know, after playing in front of screaming fans for so many years, you'd think that facing that crowd at Justin Herman Plaza today would have been easy for Joe Montana. But in a one-on-one conversation, he told me he had a lot of things running through his mind and a lot of memories.
It was a lot easier than I thought. It was tough seeing the guys, the old guys, and the coaches, and Eddie and everybody. But I think because inside I knew it was the time.
And the part I liked about it was when you talked about the backyard and making the diving catches and doing all those things. And for very few of us, those moments become reality.
Yeah, and that's what people don't really understand, is that for us, the game was that. It was that. It was a game. It was fun to do. It was fun to play. And it really was living your dream about throwing the ball in the backyard. I remember with my neighbor and throwing touchdown passes to win a game, and somebody diving into the end zone and landing in the mud. And you know, and it's true. It all of a sudden it became reality. And
now it's a whole different thing you're going to have to deal with. I mean, have you had any insight as to what it's going to be like?
Guys are saying all kind of crazy things that would happen to you, and about how, number one, you're gonna hate watching the game. You're gonna miss it. But the funniest thing is that they were saying how all of a sudden your body just like aches during the season for no reason. Until you get past a certain point in time, your body goes through a transition of not being hurt. It's probably trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah. But I've had about 4 or 5 people tell me that, and I was shocked.
Then you get a little bit older, it's going to hurt again. It's not going to go away.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Well, listen, bud. Congratulations again. Good luck to you.
Thanks.
See you around.
All right.
All right.
Possibly. Montana looking.
I guess the favorite moment has to be the catch. I mean, if you think back about everything that started everything. Although I go back to the first game that he played. I think he threw his first touchdown pass against Cincinnati. But I remember the catch and you know, with Dwight, and that'll probably be the lasting memory that I'll always have with him.
It was a real tough thing when Joe Montana left San Francisco and went to Kansas City. And then we did the game where the 49ers went into Kansas City and played against Joe Montana. And, you know, there was all the talk about, you know, he's getting older, and, you know, he's this and that. And I thought he was outstanding that day. I mean, he was perfect under some circumstances that you didn't think they were going to win.
He's still not perfect. Give me 1 or 2 things about Joe that kind of annoy you a little bit.
Well, you know, I've said it over and over, is that he's just, when you look at the guy, there's no way you could think that he could play the game of football, and he just doesn't have the body for it. And one thing that he's always been a little bit embarrassed about is that he's not a big guy. He's got little bitty legs, he's got little bitty arms, he's got a crazy looking body, no chest. I mean, he's just not built up like a football player. And so that's something he's always been embarrassed about, and it's always something I've been willing to tell the public about.
My first year as head coach, there was a moment or two when we were practicing for our first playoff game. And just remembering the look in Joe's face and the way that he practiced that particular day, I don't know I've ever seen anybody practice more intently or throw the ball any better. And I kind of knew in my heart that we were going to win the game. There was like no doubt.
When you compile everything and look at the whole thing, he would have to be the #1 quarterback of all time, or maybe the greatest football player of all time. And if not, he's in this very small grouping of people.
When we come back, 49er fans haven't forgotten Joe. We'll have more of today's celebration for Joe Montana when we return. When you have a special day like today, you want to see more highlights. Well, we've got more highlights for you. Join us tonight on KPIX News at 10. At 10:30, we'll have more Montana memories. We've been digging around the tape library for days. You won't believe the things we've dug up, like young Joe Montana's first day as a 49er. What were people saying about him then and about that haircut? So set that VCR of yours at 10:30 tonight for a half-hour show, and yes, we'll show you more of my one-on-one interview with what many people are calling the greatest quarterback of all time. When I think about Joe Montana, I think about a couple of things. I think about his style, his grace, his athletic ability, the physical part of his game that set him apart from all others. Mentally, he was a great competitor, and that was shown in the way he could lead his team from behind. So until later tonight at 10:30, I'm Dan Fouts. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you then.
The greatest football player of our time, most probably of all time, Joe Montana.
Thank you.
Montana looking, throwing in the end zone.
It's been like living a dream for me. But the unfortunate thing is that my dream, and like most dreams, whether you want to or not, you end up waking up, and this is like a wake-up call for me. It's time for me to move on, call it a day from the NFL, and
Number 16, Joe Montana.
no regrets. I mean, I look at back on my career, 16 years, the things that we accomplished as a team. I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Now it's time to throw it back to the coach here. Thank you all very much.